to be my June favorites. I cannot believe it is July. I'm filming this on July 1st. So let's just jump right into it. I don't really have too many products to talk about. I'm not going to mention any foundations or concealers in this video because I've been using the same concealers and foundations anyway. Or even, I am going to mention 2 primers though. But as far as foundations go, I have not added any new foundations since March. And I don't want to be a broken record and constantly talk about the same foundations because I've been using the ColourPop Tinted Moisturizer a ton. I've been using the Lorac Natural Performance Foundation, and I've been using the Kogendo one. So those are mostly the top 3 foundations that I've been using for most of the month. I think the only foundation I am going to mention, you know what? I actually am going to mention a couple real quick. Sorry about that. I just wanted to grab, and I've been using the Bite Beauty one a ton. Those have been like my top 4 go-to foundations. So I do want to talk about the Lorac foundation real quick because I feel like this is kind of a lost gem. I think that this foundation is fantastic. I'm wearing it today and it literally just adds the most beautiful coverage to your skin. It makes my skin look so beautiful. And it evens everything out, but it's not heavy whatsoever. It has a very like moussey formula. Like I said, this really reminds me of the number 7 Lift and Illuminate foundation that I used to love. So I think once I do use up this foundation, I probably will repurchase the number 7 foundation. I might not necessarily repurchase this. I'm not sure if they even have this on the website anymore. I am almost done with it, so I've been using it a ton so I can use it up. But I love it. It's fantastic. If you're able to try this foundation, it's great. This is pretty much the only foundation that I fell in love with from Marshalls besides the Burberry foundation, the Liquid Cashmere foundation that you can't get anymore. But I love that foundation. So this is the first one I wanted to mention. Oh, I'm already dropping everything. And then the other 2 I wanted to mention real quick. I don't necessarily love these foundations by themselves, but together I loved the combination, and I mixed together these 2 foundations in my Black-owned makeup brand Get Ready With Me video. You guys can go check that out so you guys can see these in action. But I mixed together the Beauty Bakery Instabake Aqua Glass Foundation with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation. And I'm not like a huge fan of mixing my foundations. That's just how I am. For some reason, I've always been that way. But these 2 together, because I don't necessarily love this foundation by itself because it's very full coverage. And I don't love this foundation by itself. I've said before that I don't really love using it by itself. But mixing it with a more hydrating foundation like this one, the combination was so beautiful. I loved it. This added the extra hydration that I needed for this foundation. So I loved the combination of these 2 together. I might use these in an upcoming video again together. I've just been using my MAC Pro Longwear foundation because that's the other foundation I'm trying to use up besides the Lorac one. So I've been using that one a lot more if I want a more full coverage look because I want to use it up because these are way newer in my collection. So I want to use up my older foundations first before I use these more. But I loved the combo together. So I just wanted to mention those. And then as far as primers go, I mean, oh my God. My go-to has been, of course, the Catrice Fresh It Up Prime and Fine Aqua Fresh Hydro Primer. I use this almost every single day. It's amazing. But since I acquired these 2 primers in my collection for the past month, because I basically tried both of these at like the tail end. I tried this one at the tail end of May, and this one I've been using like for the past week. And these were both primers that were from my sister and her sister and her sister's boyfriend, my sister's boyfriend. So this one is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer, and I've been loving this primer. It smells so good, but it also is, it's not like necessarily a hydrating primer. It's not necessarily a hydrating primer, but it does smooth out your skin really beautifully. and foundation goes really nicely on top of it. So I've been loving using it, and I've been using it for most of the month. If I'm not using the Catrice primer, I'm usually using this one, so I love this one. Sorry, I had to restart my computer because that was driving me crazy that it kept on slowing down. So I've been using this primer just as much as the Catrice one, and I've been loving it. So that's the second one. And then the last one I want to mention is the MAC Prep and Prime Natural Radiance primer. I forgot the word for a second. I would never spend full price on these ever because I don't believe in buying high-end primers anymore because I just think it's ridiculously expensive. Like, I'd rather just buy the Fenty Beauty foundation than have to buy the primer too. Like, her foundations are inexpensive, but buying both together, you're spending like $70. It's like I don't need to get both. But I love these two together. They're both beautiful on the skin together. But this one, I believe it might be a little bit old, but it is a really nice primer as well. It's very hydrating. I've only used it a couple of times, but I felt like the third time I used it, it smelled a little bit funky. So I might have to get rid of this one, but I did want to mention it because I've always wanted to try this primer, but I think it might be a little bit old because I think my sister's boyfriend has had it for almost like 2 years, and this is supposed to last about 2 years, but I don't know. But it is very hydrating. It lays the foundation on beautifully. I really want to try it with my MAC Pro Longwear foundation, so I might just see how it smells on my hand in like a couple days and see if I can still use it, and then I'll probably use it soon. So, but yeah, I really have been enjoying this one too. So that is it for primers and foundations, even though I said I wasn't going to talk about them. Now we're going to talk about eyeshadows, of course. So I did try a couple of new eyeshadow palettes this month, and I haven't been able to haul them yet. And basically everyone has seen me use these palettes anyway. So usually for me, since you have to order everything because nothing is open in stores, and plus since these are all online brands anyway, because I've mostly just been ordering from online brands. I really don't order from Sephora and Ulta anymore because I'm way more into indie brands now. So this was my first experience with Glamlite, and I finally ordered the Glamlite Pizza Meat Lovers palette, and I've been talking about this palette in my eyeshadow palette wish list videos. If you guys check those out, I usually post like wish list videos of palettes I'm still interested in, and this one was on the top of my list, and I did say I was going to pick up this palette this summer, so I finally just decided to do it before June was over because I was like, why not? And I have fallen in love with the quality of this palette. As I drop the plastic insert on the floor, so this is what the palette looks like, and honestly, I'm so obsessed with the packaging. Glamlite's packaging is literally like the cutest thing alive. They're probably my favorite packaging next to ColourPop, because ColourPop still makes my favorite packaging because so freaking cute, and it's a lot easier to store than this, but the formula of these are beautiful. I had just finished testing out all the shades today, so technically today is July 1st. But I did have another palette that I was testing out all weekend, so it did take me a little bit longer to test out this one. But I knew I loved this palette after the first time I used it, which was just last week. And the mattes are super buttery and soft. And they blend very softly on the eyes, but you can build them up, and they are super pigmented. And I don't really have a formula like that. They are not dusty or powdery at all. They are just very soft and very blendable shades when it comes to the mattes. And then the shimmers, all the shimmers are beautiful. They're so beautiful on the lid. So I'm wearing, I'm only wearing about 3 shades from this palette today because I wanted to use the pinks, and there's not too many pinks in this palette, so I did have to pull a couple of ColourPop shades as well. But mostly I'm wearing Red Onions in the crease, like the defining shade. And then I put Sausage on the outer corners, and then the last lid shade I had to try out was Ham, so I put that all over the lid. And they are such stunning shades. And I've done multiple looks with this palette already, if you guys want to check those out. But they're just beautiful. I'm loving this palette, and if you guys haven't tried Glamlite yet, the quality is really there. I know that they're hyped up a lot, but their quality is great. So the hype is real, you guys. I know Nikki Tutorials really loves them, But I would get any of their palettes over Juvia's Place. I think that their palettes are way better. I'm just going to swatch a couple of the colors for you. I just want to make sure I don't really have eyeshadow on my pants because I'm wearing white pants today, so they can get very easily stained. So here are some of the shades. They don't swatch like amazing, but on the eyes they are beautiful, but those are really pretty. So this one's Salami, this one is Chicken, which you guys know I'm a sucker for gold, and that one is Red Onions. So really beautiful shades. And I kind of want to swatch the matte red for you guys because the red is also really pretty too. But there's also another red that I really love that I'm going to talk about in a minute, which isn't from this palette. And this red, again, doesn't swatch the best, but on the eyes it's beautiful. So that one is Crushed Red Pepper. That's the matte red in the palette. So I've been discovering some really good matte reds this past month because red is a very hard color to develop for the eyes, and especially to make it eye safe. And I think that this palette and the next palette I'm talking about just knocked it out of the park for me. So I've been really impressed with both of these brands, and I'm just wiping off those swatches so we can swatch some more eyeshadow. So the next palette I wanted to talk about, of course, is the other newest palette to my collection. I've only had this palette, I think, for like a week, and I already knew I was going to love this, so for me to mention it in this favorites video, I mean, I would be lying if I didn't say I was using both of these palettes nonstop since I've gotten them, because I just finished testing out all of the shades. So I really wanted to mention them in my favorites video because these are basically the only two palettes I've been using for the past like 2 weeks. So the next palette is, of course, from Give Me Glow, and this is the Give Me Glow Extra Spicy palette. And I think I like this palette even more than the Vintage Rose palette. I am absolutely in love with this palette. If you guys didn't know what shades that I love to wear on my eyes, it's these types of shades. I am such a sucker for oranges, for warm tone looks, for gold. And when I saw this palette and I saw that it was mostly gold based, I was like, I need this in my life. I didn't have any shimmery golds from Give Me Glow, and I was like, I need it because their formula has just absolutely blown me away, especially since I tried the Vintage Rose palette back in February. I have been wanting another palette from them, and I just felt like this was the perfect palette for me. I'm really happy that I waited for this palette over the Grunge palette or the Staples palette because I felt like these were more my shades, and I feel like I'm going to wear this palette all summer. I feel like this is going to be one of my go-to summer palettes, especially this month, since July 4th is coming up and stuff like that. But when I tell you that these matte reds are amazing, they really are. Like, every shade in here is amazing. The only shade that I'm not too crazy about is Mild. But honestly, it doesn't really have to be that pigmented or built up. I just find it's a little bit difficult to get pigmented, but it is mostly a transition shade in this palette, so it doesn't really bother me. It's not as pigmented as the other shades. All the other shades are phenomenal. So I just want to swatch these shimmers for you guys because their shimmers are insane. So this one is 24 Karat Wings, this one is Ghost Pepper, and this one is On Fire. Like, are you serious? And this is going over, like, they just go over your skin so easily, like over hair that's on my hand or over makeup swatches. This is how they're always going to swatch. They're just freaking stunning. So Ghost Pepper is obviously my favorite. That's the gold shade in the middle. And then there's On Fire and 24 Karat Wings. So the shimmers are unreal, amazing quality. I did kind of get a little bit of eyeshadow on my pants. Why did I decide to film my favorites video in white pants? Maybe I should have waited and wore sweatpants. All right, hold on. Let me just see if I can. Oh my God. Just wanted to see if I could lift it first. All right, that's fine. I'm just going to swatch these like here. And then I'm just going to swatch like 2 of the mattes for you guys because I don't want to be here swatching eyeshadow all day. So this one is Can We Get More Salsa? And this one is Flaming Hot. Look at that. Look at those compared to the Glamlite. And again, the Glamlite has an amazing formula, but nothing beats the Gimme Glow formula for me. So that one is the red and that one is the orange. Like, ridiculous how pigmented those are. So I'm in love. Oh my god, I'm getting gold flakes everywhere again. All right, hold on. I'm so mad right now. So if you guys are looking for pigmented, super blendable shades, I highly, highly, highly recommend this brand. I cannot rave about them enough. Everything is gorgeous. I absolutely love their brands, and I'm so happy that I tried them out because I've seen so many people rave about them, and I finally just decided to try them for myself, and I love them so much. So, love this palette. I'm just trying to clean up some of the shimmer around me so I don't get it all over the place, but I feel like I've already failed, but it's okay. I'll just throw them in the wash later. And then the other two palettes that I've been wearing quite a bit this month is, of course, the Haus Laboratories Stupid Love palette. And I know that this palette is kind of like very controversial because the shimmers aren't honestly that impressive in this palette, but as I've used the palette more and more, I do really enjoy the mattes in this palette. These matte blues, like I said, are gorgeous. I've been using them quite a bit this month because I've been, you know, doing more colorful looks on my channel. And this matte blue Sign is gorgeous. And then this shade I also used in my last look that I did with this palette because that video was already like almost like 3 weeks ago. I haven't used this palette for a little while, but I'm definitely going to use it more this month. But I've been really enjoying it, and I don't regret getting this palette at all because I really think that this is a fun direction that her brand is going to be going in finally, and I really hope we keep on seeing more fun releases from her. So I love it. I just don't really want to talk about it too long because I already have a full review of this on my channel if you guys want to check that out to see further thoughts about it, but I still wanted to mention it in my favorites because I've been using it still. So that's that one. And then the last palette that I've been using quite a bit is the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. This is always one of my go-to summer palettes. And I also, you know what? Hold on. Forgot to mention one other palette. I can't not mention this palette. I've used this quite a bit this month as well. But I don't know if I mentioned this in my last favorites video, but I have been using this palette quite a bit. I've used Azalea, Agate, and I believe one other shade, maybe Flax, but I did use it, I think, at least twice this past month, and you guys know how much I love this palette, so I don't really want to bore you guys with it, but I just wanted to let you guys know that if you guys are looking to try Natasha Denona, try the $60 palettes. Do not spend the money on the $130 palettes. They are beautiful quality, but you can get just as good quality if you get the $65 palettes. You don't have to spend the ridiculously hefty price tag spending $130 or $239. You can get the same effect getting these, and if they're not shades that appeal to you, wait until she comes out with more to see if like another color scheme appeals to you. But if this doesn't appeal to you and you're not crazy about the color story, don't drop that ridiculous price tag. Seriously, it's not worth it. So I just wanted to mention that. And then the last palette that I forgot to grab before, which I can't believe I did because I have used this palette a couple times this past month. And this is usually one of my summer palettes. Oh my god, why do I have eyeshadow everywhere? And I'm talking about the ColourPop Honey palette. So this is one of their 9-pan palettes, and this was one of my newer palettes to my collection last summer. So I really wanted to get some use out of it this summer. Yeah, this summer. So I've been using it quite a bit, and I have to say I have been falling back in love with it again. I did use it a couple times. I used it in my product specific no buy video, and then I did also use it on a live stream this past month, and I really have been loving doing yellow looks this past month as well. I've done a couple of yellow looks, but yeah, this is a good palette if you want to experiment with yellow. It's a good quality palette. even though this is my least favorite palette from ColourPop, I still love it. Like, I still love all my ColourPop palettes. There's not one ColourPop palette I don't like. But these are great shimmers, and some of the mattes in here are fantastic. I've been using the shade Sweet Spot, that matte yellow, a lot. I used it in my Pride look recently, and I also used the shade Dandy as well. So yeah, I've been loving this palette. So that's that. And then the last couple shades I want to mention are going to be from Lele Posh, because Lele Posh has become my new love. So I wanted to mention at least a couple of the shades that I have been using. I just want to lay a tissue on my pants because these are very pigmented. So the shade I wanted to mention mostly is the single shade called Penny. And if you guys don't know who Penny is, please go check out her Instagram. But this shade is so beautiful. If you want something from Lele Posh that's like an everyday shade, this is your guy, because it's such a beautiful, like, super, super pigmented eyeshadow. Like, look at that. That's so beautiful. So I didn't want to overwhelm myself with eyeshadow, but I did get quite a bit of eyeshadow this past month, so I had to mention how amazing some of these eyeshadows are. And then the other one is the shade Celestial, which is the shade that I got free with my last order that I got from them. And I'm not sure if I've hauled the last order I got for them either. I'm not really sure if I've hauled that shade. I have to double check. But this shade is Celestial, and it's a gorgeous, like, blue with, like, pink glitters in it. It's stunning. Okay. So, and then I also want to mention real quick this shade right here. Now, this is my first ever shade from Divina Cosmetics, and I did win this in Debbie's live giveaway. I won the shade, and this is what it looks like. And this is called Cake Bomb, and it's part of their Sugar Drops collection. Granted, I've only used it once, but it really is beautiful. If you guys check out Divina Cosmetics, their eyeshadows are gorgeous. And if you guys check out Lele Posh, you probably could get the same effect with Lele Posh's shades as you can with Divina, but they are beautiful quality as well. I love them just as much as Lele Posh. And then I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Lele Posh's Sugar Babies, because I have been using these quite a bit this month. I am not swatching these because the glitter will get absolutely everywhere. But Cash App I use quite a bit on my inner corners and as a lid topper. It's a beautiful, like, greeny gold kind of glitter. And then we have Daddy Issues, which is a beautiful, like, pinky shift glitter. I almost used it today, but I wanted to use something else from Lele Posh. And I used a new highlight from them, but I'm not going to talk about it yet until I actually hauled some of this newer stuff. But I just wanted to say I really do enjoy that as well. But these are older. You guys have already seen me use these. And then the last one is the newest one to my collection, which is called Keep It Icy, or Keep Me Icy. And this is one of Debbie's favorite shades. It's like a white with like a ton of blue glitters in it. It's so beautiful. It's like an icy white shade. And it's beautiful. I haven't used it on the lids yet. I've only used it on the inner corners, but hopefully when I do like more blue looks, I'll be able to use this more. But I've been mostly using it as an inner corner highlight. So I think that's it for eyeshadows. So now the last thing I wanted to talk about is Anya's Lele Posh Cosmetics Loose Glitter Gel. This thing is massive, but I've been trying to use it in my blue looks, and I have done a couple yellow looks, a couple blue looks, so I've been kind of diving into color again and embracing it. Pink looks and orange looks and neutral looks are, pink and orange are more neutral shades to me. Even red I feel like is more wearable. And yellow. So I've been wearing all of those colors this past month. Blue looks, obviously, I only really wear in my lives or like tutorials that I film. But this is beautiful over, I'm not sure if I'm going to open it because, again, well, I guess I can open it. It's like this beautiful blue glitter. I'm not swatching it because, again, the glitter will go everywhere, but it's such a gorgeous glitter. So I've been trying to incorporate this over my lids. Like whenever I lay a lid shade down, I'll put this over it. Like I used Celestial from Lele Posh, and then I put this over it from Lele Posh, and it was stunning. So I have a lot of Lele Posh favorites this month. And then speaking of, let's just jump right into highlights. So these are honestly the two highlighters I've been using the most this month. So like I said last month, I accidentally ordered the eyeshadow sized pans of the Lele Posh highlighters, but they just fit very conveniently in this palette anyway, so I just keep them with the rest of my Lele Posh singles. So these are all Lele Posh here, these 8 shadows and highlights. And the 2 highlights I've been using a ton. I mean, I love White Wedding, but I've been using Save Me a lot in my blue looks. And Kenzie I've just been using on an everyday basis because it's such a beautiful shade. So I'll swatch both of them for you guys. So this one is Save Me, and this is Kenzie, and they are both stunning. I don't know why Save Me is swatching kind of weird. So Save Me has this beautiful like blue shift to it. It's gorgeous. And then Kenzie is like this beautiful like gold, pinky highlight. It's gorgeous. So I've been loving those as well. And then as far as other highlights go, I've been using, you know, a lot of my highlighters that are in my collection, because other than Lele Posh highlights and the one Kaleidos highlight that I bought that it's not here yet, I really haven't been ordering any other highlights. But I also have been using my Give Me Glow highlights quite a bit this month. I just want to mention them real quick because they're gorgeous. So this peachy one is called Transcendent. So beautiful. Then there's White Noise, which is gorgeous for fair skin tones. It's so stunning. I'll just swatch one of them for you. I'll swatch White Noise. It's a beautiful highlight for fair skin tones. So that one is White Noise. And then the last one is called Halo, and this is their most popular one. And this is a beautiful, like, shifty, like lime green, yellow goodness. It's so stunning. So I just wanted to mention those super quick because I have been using them quite a bit. And then we just have 2 blushes to talk about and a couple of lippies, and that's basically it. So I haven't ordered too many new blushes to my collection, but I did order some of the products from the ColourPop Sailor Moon restock because I was determined to get the blushes this time around. So this one is the Sailor Moon and ColourPop Pressed Powder Blush in the shade Cat's Eye, and I have been using this one quite a bit because this one is much more wearable than the pink one. I'm actually wearing the pink one today, and I already love it, but I used it in July, so it's not a June favorite. So I just love the packaging on these. And then this one looks like this. That's the color. It's like this beautiful like orangey shade, and I love it. It's like a orangey pink-ish shade. And these swatch very sheerly, like you can't really see it that well, but on the eyes, on the face, they build up really beautifully. So I've been using that one quite a bit. So that one is Cat's Eye. And then the other blush that has just been my go-to still, and I use it basically all the time, besides the Kathleen Lights blushes, and I'm still using those every month, but I don't want to bore you by mentioning those again. This is the ColourPop, and this is part of the ColourPop Celestial collection, and this one is called Meteorite. You guys know, if you've been watching me since I got this blush, I've been using it nonstop. It's such a beautiful everyday blush, so I love this guy. And then as far as lippies go, I just have a couple to share with you guys. Not too many. So I just wanted to mention the Sugar Lip Shop glosses. I have kind of fallen in love with these, especially the hemp oil gloss, because I use this every time while I'm doing my eyes to prep my lips when I'm doing my eyeshadow, when I'm doing my makeup. So I love this. It's really nice and hydrating. I also love the clear gloss, which is I forget the name of this one, but it's really nice. I hadn't owned a clear gloss in my collection, but I tried this one and I really like it. And then the Shifty gold one, I believe is called like Rich Bitch or something. I'm not really sure, but I got the Louis Vuitton one, which oh wait, no, this is the Louis Vuitton one. This is the clear gloss. I'm kind of like surprised there's so much like air bubbles in this already, but it's really, really pretty. I could just throw it over what I'm wearing right now, just to add a little bit of glossiness. Yeah, that's really pretty. Let's see. I just want to wipe this off real quick. But just to add a little bit of extra gloss. That looks stunning. But yeah, that's why I really wanted a clear gloss, so I can add it over any lipstick. And I'm surprised I hadn't owned one before. So I really do like these. They're like $3 a piece, super cheap, and they are really amazing. And then the other glosses I wanted to mention, I'm just going to mention one of them because I don't want to spoil the other two because I haven't hauled them yet. But the one I've been wearing the most is I did get a couple of glosses from Glamlite. I didn't realize that all of them were glosses. I was hoping one of them would be a liquid lipstick, but all of them are glosses. And the one I've been wearing the most is obviously the more neutral shade, which is called Horchata. And I actually really like their gloss formula. It's very, very comfortable. I love how there's a little mirror on the packaging. And this is what the shade looks like. I kind of wish I got the Churro shade. I think I got confused and got this one instead. But this is still a really pretty nude. And the formula is really comfortable on the lips. So I've been enjoying that. And I'm not going to spoil the other two shades yet. I'm going to save that for when I haul everything. But I just wanted to mention that this one's the one I've been wearing the most. And then the last lip products. The first one is the Haus Laboratories Lamb Monster Matte Lip Crayon. I've been using this so much since I've gotten it. So it is a favorite again this month. And it's just such a beautiful like nude lipstick. I love it. And I really like the formula, and it's right there. It's not my absolute favorite lipstick formula, but it's a beautiful shade. And once you have it on your lips, it feels way better than when you first apply it. It can be a little bit drying, but it is beautiful. And then the last two lip products are the satin lipsticks, the Lip Pop satin lipsticks from Lime Crime. So the shade I've been using a lot, of course, is the nude shade, which is called, before I don't drop it, it's called Cold Brew. And they're really pretty. They're like sheer, not very pigmented lipsticks because they're satin finish. They are a little sticky though. I find that with the newer lip products that Lime Crime has come out with, I don't love them as much as the older lip products, but they're still really good. I still have to try every lip formula that they come out with. And then the other shade is called Pumpkin Pop. And I have been able to use this one a couple times this month because when I first got it, I wasn't able to use it really. But I have used it in my Haus Laboratories Stupid Love teal look. And I love the combination of teal and orange together. Like, I thought that it complemented the look so well. And this is such a gorgeous shade. So yeah, that is pretty much it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this favorites. Please let me know what you guys have been using this month. Again, please let me know. I always love to know what you guys are using. I love you guys. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media. Bye. Happy 4th of July.